I think our young people need to be empowered, especially to move so that then they're not tools of violence, they're not tools of demonstrations, they're tools of peace.
Kuria Lililit is an elder from Lodokejek in Samburu County. Being a Samburu, a known pastoralist community in Kenya, Lililit never pictured himself holding a hoe and tilling land. But the changing tides influenced by climate change has forced this community to look for alternatives for survival, and they are gradually embracing farming while also encouraging more members of their community to accept it.
Mimi na hata wasai wengine imeona hii kitu imekuja mzuri. Sasa kila mtu wanashika hii nini kulima
kilimo. Kama wakati mradi hii ya Smart Foundation imekuja hapa, hata nimeona wenyeji hapa wamefurahi. Wasee wamekuja hapa wameona kwamba even with a small piece of land unaweza ukafanya kazi nzuri kama hii ya faida hata kuliko yule ufugaji ya mifugo ambayo imekuwa inatusumbua sana. Kiangazi ndio hii unakuta mzee ng'ombe yake zote zimeisha, na kama angekuwa na miradi kama hii ingekuwa ya manufaa. So nimeona wengi wakisunguka hapa wakiona, wakitazama, wanazungumzia zaidi kutaka kubadilisha kilimo ambayo ilikuwa ya mifugo kutaka kufanya hii miradi. Wengi walikuwa wanauliza itakuwa ni kiasi gani ya asa ya pesa ambayo itatumika kufanya hii kazi, abadilishe ile mifugo yake afanye hii ambayo itakuwa rahisi, au utakuwa unasumbuana kusukuma mfugo kila mahali kufuata kutafuta nyazi. Utakuwa na have an acre plot kwa Manyata, na utakuwa na pesa, watoto wako utakuwa unalisha bora.
With more than 4 consecutive rainy seasons failing in most parts of the country, the Samburus, like other pastoralist communities, lost a number of livestock to drought. But with training and guidance from Smart's Foundation on the crops to grow, there is hope for this community.
Hii maradi wanasaidia sisi, kwa sababu hapa saa hii hatuwezi enda huko mbali kuenda kutafuta mboga. Hata sisi siku hizi hakuna maziwa, unatumia tu hii mboga tu. Alafu mboga wanaenda kutega huko kwa soko kama Kisima ama Lukuru, lakini siku moja tu kwa wiki unaenda kutafuta mboga huko. Hiyo masiku nyingine hakuna kitu, hatuwezi pata mboga. Kwa hivyo saa hii unaona iko sawa, kwa sababu mboga iko hapa. Wakati mboga anaamka, kama anataka kula kila siku sinakuja tu kununua hapa.
Mradi huu itakuwa ya manufaa katika jamii ya hapa, sababu watakuwa wanajifunza, itakuwa wanapata elimu kupitia miradi hii ambayo imefanywa katika shule. Zaidi shule hii imekuwa ya manufaa katika shule yetu ya Lodokejek, kwa sababu shule hii ni la bweni la both girls and boys, na huwa tunakuwa na changamoto kupata mboga, hasa ukiona katika mahali shule hii iko ni mahali jangwa, na kupata mboga inakuwa shida. Itakuwa ni an income generating activity to the school. Ile pesa huwa tunatumia kununua mboga ya wanafunzi wa bweni itaenda katika miradi nyingine ya kufanya renovation ya shule, kusaidia watoto ambao hawajiwezi, hata kuwanunulia vitabu, kuwanunulia makalamu, na hata pia kuwanunulia sabuni kwa wale ambao ni wabweni. Tuko na wanafunzi ambao wanapitia changamoto mingi. Wanafunzi watajifunza, watapeleka ile knowledge watapata hapa nyumbani, watasaidia wazazi wao watakuwa wanakuja hapa kujifunza, alafu pia wapeleke hiyo knowledge nyumbani, na itakuwa tu si ya manufaa kwa shule hii bali kwa community, the entire community around. It has also created employment to a number of community members, sababu unajua hatuwezi kufanyisha wanafunzi kazi hapa. Kazi yao itakuwa ni kwenda darasani, lakini lazima tutaajiri mtu wa kufanya hapa. It has created an employment to 1 or 2 people in the community, of which it has also benefited some households around.
The SMARTS project in Samburu County, which seeks to improve the lives of pastoralist communities and one that will be scaled up in other counties in arid and semi-arid regions, is under the patronage of Charlene Ruto, the first daughter of Kenya.
I'm very, first of all, proud of what we've been able to do here in Samburu County. And we're grateful to the school that has supported us and given us the space to start a model farm here, so that then we can see how we can support the young people in agriculture, because that's something through SMARTS Foundation. We're very passionate about climate change and agriculture. So we are carrying out a few activities on the farm. We're doing a few crops, Chinese cabbage, onion. We'll experiment with a few others so that we can see what's going to do well in this region. And then we encourage the school children, the community to come on board to see what is being done. We also give them the expertise. We give them where they can get the seed beds, not the seed beds. And then how they can get the right tools, because here we are doing drip irrigation. So how they can get the right tools, how we can support them to start doing farming even in their own compounds, so that they have a source of livelihood and a source of income. And especially for the young people, this could be from school-going children all the way from primary all the way to those who are older, 18, 25, so that they can get some source of livelihood for themselves. So we're planting cabbage, Chinese cabbage, and cabbage, the usual cabbage and onions. Yes, as a start, because those are short-term crops. They'll take a shorter time to mature, and they have high nutritional value. So through SMARTS Foundation, we have started tree planting. We're doing tree growing. We've started such an agricultural system. We're going to move to doing this across different counties as model farms and engaging the community to come on board. So information is power and knowledge is power. So once we share the information and knowledge with the community, they can then carry out the project elsewhere. We also want to install beehives here, because beehives are part of the natural ecosystem and they're a part of handling climate change. Because once we have these crops here and we have the bees, it will encourage us to continue planting more trees, and also it will be a source of income for the community, because then they're able to harvest the honey and other products of what the bees produce to be able to get an income. I think the first impact is, first of all, for the community to know that there are people who care about them, even people who maybe have never met them, who are interested in them progressing. That's why we are not doing this in Nairobi and in just urban areas. We are going all the way to different counties, to different areas that are not necessarily urban areas, to the rural areas. So first of all, it's to have that encouragement that the people who care and who want to provide solutions, who want to partner with them, that's the first impact we want to have. And the second impact is in regards to economic activities, because I think our young people need to be empowered, especially to move, so that then they're not tools of violence, they're not tools of demonstrations, they're tools of peace. So once a young person's mind is settled and they're not idle and they have something to do, then they're able to create an income for themselves and they're able to grow themselves. So this then, we move away from the young people coming into the urban areas to be able to get a source of income, and we have them having their source of income wherever they are based and wherever they are. So that's the second impact we want to have. The third impact, of course, is climate change. Once we have these crops growing, yes, they are bringing a source of income to whoever is growing them. Then the crops, here we're planting cabbage. Cabbage is such a beautiful crop, and it will add to whatever we're doing in terms of climate change action. It will increase the animals that come around, even butterflies. It will increase to the beauty of the environment as well as to climate change action that we're doing. Agriculture is something we really need to have as a culture. I know it has been there for the older generations, the older communities. Myself as well, I've seen my parents do different kinds of farming over the years, and I've never been interested because I've lived in an urban area. I've seen other ways of making income, but looking at where our country is now, especially with the drought that is coming, and for example, an area like Samburu and other counties that have heavily relied on livestock, now is the time to look for alternative sources of economic activity and alternative sources of income. So I'd encourage the young people to take up agriculture, and that is something we are actively doing. We're not just saying we need to do it as SMARTS Foundation, we are showing how we are going to do it. So we want the young people to come on board to see how we are doing it, to give us their ideas, their innovations. And this is not only in the production level, it's throughout the value chain. Because once these crops grow, I was asking my team, how are we going to sell it? Because as a model farm, then who exactly will we sell it to? Because for us, it's not for the income purpose, it's to support the community. But then how will we sell it? Do we have a young person who has an e-commerce platform where we can sell our produce and we can be able to market the produce from there? So as young people, let's get involved in agriculture, but not just the production side, but throughout the value chain, all the way to market and back to the beginning of the ecosystem. When I was in Murang'a County recently, I didn't know about this crop called Sukuma Siku. It's actually less acid than Sukuma Wiki. It's an innovation that has been done. So there are different kind of crops also that are coming up that then we need to be able to see how we can plant more of those. They have more nutritional value. And then also in the whole process of organic farming, which is something we really believe in. What are the young people innovating for us to do in terms of organic farming so that we don't have to use pesticides on our farms, because then that harms the whole environment.
We are cognizant of the fact that Samburu County is one of the counties that normally lags behind in terms of the economic empowerment. So as a foundation, we have decided to come on board and try and help this community to boost it economically. I know from the legal angle, all Kenyans, when we promulgated the 2010 Constitution, one of the aspirations of our people was the right to dignity and economic freedom. Since independence, close to 60 plus years, that has remained a mirage for people. And as a foundation, we want to come and join hands with them and give them a source of livelihood. We want to give them a dignified life. We do not want to hear stories of banditry, stories of all this manner of illegal activities that normally takes place in this part of our country. So that is what we want to do as Match Foundation. We want to give these people the right to dignity. We want to give them economic freedom in our lifetime.
Students from university doing agriculture, they are bookwise, but not streetwise. You see, they will tell you about cabbage, about spinach, about everything. But practically, when they come here, they know how to do it. But now, that's why we have partnership with them. They are coming to our company after every 6 months. We take them out. We are building a technical hub in Kabete. So where we are going to do this, the drips, harvester, everything, so it's something to make agriculture juicy, so that they know agriculture is a good thing. And I'm telling you, agriculture, there's a big business in agriculture. And agriculture is the right way to go.
Water pans are also being set up in specific areas for the benefit of Samburu residents. Apart from supply of water for the day-to-day activities, the water pans will also make it possible for more people to engage in farming.
Lodokejek have been away for a long time without water, and we say thank you to national government, led by His Excellency President William Samoei Ruto and Cabinet Secretary Alice Home, for provision of water to our village and also the schools around, like Lodokejek Primary and Lodokejek Day Secondary School. As a student, we feel happy to get clean water rather than fetching rivers water, which is contaminated and risk to our young kids.
A long time ago, we used to know this time, the time for planting, this is the time for harvesting. But now you can't know the time for planting because of the rains. And we also like supporting the government agenda, because you see, we want to change now from the lane fed to irrigation. And we say, our tagline is, we transform farm and life through technology. So you see, without irrigation, actually, there's no produce. That's why we are very key in irrigation. What I would like to say about irrigation, we used to know irrigation is for the big boys. But irrigation is, anybody can do irrigation. From a quarter, an eighth an acre, a quarter, a half going forward. And the cost, you see, like our drips are, this is from Israel. We have transferred Israel to Kenya. So we are doing them in Kenya, but Israel technology. And you can compare yourself a farm doing irrigation and doing the rain fend. Because you see, at irrigation, you can do at any time. At any time you can plant. You can say, when I visit some farms which are doing irrigation, they say this time, on this month, I'll plant cabbages. Next month, I'll plant maize, the other plant tomatoes, without even talking about the rains, because they have enough water. And then we don't have enough water to use the sprinklers. You know the difference between the sprinklers and the drip lines. Sprinklers uses a lot of water, but drip lines is just to the plant. And then we know the cabbages need how much water per day. So if you open here, if it's maybe a quarter liter, when we open the system, we know after 1 hour that plant will have quarter liter of water, and that one you take for the whole day.
Tulikuwa tunaonelea pia kuna umuhimu wa kuwa na hizo water pan, sababu sasa tukiwa na hii miradi ya Smart Foundation, tukikuwa na water pan, jamii ambayo ilikuwa hapa karibu itaweza kusaidika, kwa sababu maji itakuwa karibu, ataweza kupump maji kuweka kwa tanka, anaweza kujipandia mboga, na itakuwa ya muhimu, na hata pia itakuwa muhimu kwa wanakijiji hapa, kwa sababu hii maji unaona hata sasa kama leo mvua imenyesha, alafu hiyo maji yote imepotea, na tunataka kama tungekuwa na hiyo uwezo wa kupata water pans, tungekuwa na uwezo wa kutega hiyo maji, na ingekuwa manufaa, na hata Kenya hatungekuwa tunalia sasa kukosa ukosefu wa chakula, hasa katika hapa semi-arid areas.
So here is a snippet of how the model farm works.
Did you find any challenges in setting all this up?
Yeah, actually it was a tough process.
Okay.
First of all, let me start with the first day that I visited this place. It was dusty, sunny, and there was no hope like things can grow. As you can see, the whole other area, it's really plain.
Yeah.
You can't believe that you can grow vegetables. So that was the first challenge. I was wondering, can I really manage this? But from the knowledge that I have had and having stayed in Israel for 1 year in a desert situation, I said, yes, we can. And with the support of my founders, they told me, we'll support you fully until you get it done. The second one was getting the locals to do the tilling of the land. So we procured a tractor, and when we were trying to till the land, it was very tough. So to soften it, we tilled actually 3 times. This plowing, then we went again to the rock rolling plowing for the second time. So that made the land a little bit soft. And then the engaging the community. You see, these people are pastoralists, so they don't have even farm tools to do the farming. So you call someone to the farm, and then they come with a spade. So that was something challenging. So you had to train them first of all on how to use the farm tools.
Okay.
Yeah. So after now we were successful with making the beds and tilling the land. It was now time for planting. Then you can see someone really burying, instead of planting halfway, they buried the whole crop. Yeah. So that was another challenge. In fact, this farm I planted it twice because the first time failed, so I redid it.
Okay.
But another one was the weather. This place is very sunny and dry. So at first the crops dried up, but we managed to procure. That's why we purchased the Chinese cabbages. It's resilient to harsh weather condition and also to pesticides. Since this is the first time we are tilling the land, there are some of the pests that invade the crops. Yeah, so those were some of the challenges that I faced.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we understand that the community in Samburu, they are pastoralists.
Yeah.
Was it really difficult convincing them to adopt farming as opposed to what they are used to, taking care of their livestock?
Yeah. You see, it's like you say that when you go to Rome, you do what the Romans do. So when we came here at first, then you tell them that you want to set up a model farm for them. They were expecting something to do with cattle and something to do. But now we told them, no, we can provide a solution for you.
Okay.
We can introduce vegetables. So some of them, they were eager to learn. They were not rigid to
to some extent.
Alright.
But even when you are doing the farming, you find someone telling you, kuna ng'ombe yangu nimewacha mahali, wacha nikimbie nikaone. So I think they are receptive, and this is the whole idea as youth to farm. As youth to farm, we are intending to bring youths into farming.
Okay.
So here it's like community to farm. We are trying to bring the community to realize that farming is another source of livelihood, a source of food, as we are trying to tackle the food security issue. Because you find people donating food stuff in this venue, but again, we have a vast land, we have a drip irrigation, we have a solution. Why can't we teach them?
Yeah.
Because the only thing they lack is the knowledge.
Okay.
Yeah. So first of all, what you had to do was you need to have a source of water, and thanks to the Ministry of Water, they drilled a borehole down there which is yielding 18 cubic meters per hour, of which it is enough for the community. So we set up our storage tank here. This is 3,000 liters capacity of the tank. So this is the main source of the water.
Okay.
So now we get the water from the main tank into our storage tank. The main reason why you need a storage tank is that you cannot depend on another water source. What if there is no water? So you need to be assured that you have water in your tank.
Okay.
So when the water trickles down from the tank, it has to pass through the filter. You see, maybe the water is dirty, and you have to filter the particles that are there.
Okay.
So these are disc filter.
All right.
Yeah, so the disc filter can last up to 10 years, but you have to do servicing of the water around here is pretty clean. If it was water from the river, maybe you can do 2 months filtering, but with this one you can do 3 to 4 months. You open the disc, then you just wash the disc filter, and then it becomes clean. So this helps us to remove the particles that can block the drip pipes.
All right.
Yeah.
There's to small stones.
Yeah, to small particles.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So now from the filter, you have a main line flowing downwards. There are different designs. Someone can put the main line in between the farm so that it can supply both sides.
Alright.
But as we decided to do one side, since we are not using, we are using gravity to pump the water into the farms. But we wanted we can even irrigate a whole huge piece of land, but we have to use a pump now.
Okay.
So we wanted to reduce the bottlenecks between the schools so that they cannot try and figure out on how to get petrol again for the pump.
Alright.
So we decided to use gravity.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So this is the main pipe downwards there, and in the main pipes we have so this is the first opening. You don't have to irrigate your farm each and every time.
Okay.
Yeah, you can when you just irrigate, let's say in the morning, midday, and in the evening. A duration of 30 minutes. It depends on the requirement of the crop.
Okay.
So if it is raining like right now, you don't really need to irrigate because the farm is already okay. So you have to ensure that this is closed, because if you make any mistake and the drips continue flowing overnight, utapata mboga zimeloweka.
So that's one of the key things to note.
Yeah.
That you're not supposed to. You have to ensure you control, the water that gets into the farm.
Yeah. So the spacing in between here to here is 20 centimeters.
All right.
So you see, for us, we decided to grow in between 20, 20, 20.
Okay.
So this is 40 centimeters. Then 40 by 30.
All right.
So that's our spacing.
Okay.
Yeah, but you're the one to decide. If we were planting something like the onions, we would have planted, I'll show you down there. You plant a spacing of 10 by 10.
10 by
for
10.
tomatoes.
So it's different for every crop that you're planting.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the main reason we don't have the center line is because we need this space. But if we didn't need another space, we could have added just another drip kit.
Okay.
Yeah. When you are first planting your land, which has pesticides and many other things, I prefer Chinese cabbage because it is more resilient. You have seen the intercropping that we have done.
Yeah.
We do Chinese cabbage.
Then we're
cabbage.
back to the normal.
Yeah, then Chinese cabbage, then back to the normal.
Okay.
This is because you have to control the pesticides. If this side has been attacked by pesticides, you prevent it from crossing over to the other one. Yeah. So that's what we have done.
That's why you interchange.
Yeah. For me, when we are developing a land in arid areas, we don't cut trees at all. We try all our best to retain the tree, even the small one, because it takes ages to grow. So you see, for these 4 trees that we have, we ensure that they fit into the system that we are designing instead of cutting them. Even if you look at our fence, we never cut any tree. We have that tree, and we have another tree down here. We didn't touch any tree. Yeah, because as a foundation also we are championing for climate change. And we believe in mitigation measures and adaptation measures. And one of them is our trees. Yeah. Also, in our farm we are planting fruit trees along the fence. That's for nutrition purposes and also for the tree cover.
What kind of fruits?
Avocado seedlings. Yeah.
They can survive in this?
Yeah, they can survive in this region. So we are also going to put drip system for the avocados that we are going to plant. Yeah. There are different ways that we affect the climate. First of all is the type of irrigation that we are using. When you use a flood irrigation system, when the pesticides and the chemicals get washed away into the rivers, and that's how we affect our rivers. So by using drip irrigation, we try to minimize the water flooding into the rivers, so there are no chemicals being washed into the rivers. So that's how you first solve the problem of climate change. The second one is the amount of water you use to irrigate one crop. Yeah, this is called precision agriculture. You provide one crop with the nutrients that they want. There's a type of irrigation, we have not inculcated it into this system, but it's called fertigation, where you mix the water with the fertilizer and the chemicals that the crop needs. So when you do the drip irrigation, that crop gets exactly the right amount of chemicals or anything, nutrients that you need, instead of spraying on top of it. So that's how we solve the issue of climate change. We don't use much water. So for us as Match Foundation, we hope to spread this gospel to arid areas, to every corner of the country, to each and every youth, because we have an issue with the food security, unemployment, and through this we can solve a lot of issues. If I can tell you, the people working in this farm who got employment by installing the drip irrigation, by planting, providing the seedlings, it's a massive opportunity that we give to people. So we intend to set up model farms in various schools, also to support the 4K club in the schools, and to get the communities around to do farming. Yeah, and for communities that are doing farming, we are going to teach them about climate smart agriculture, like how to avoid using of pesticides, like doing now the climate smart agriculture without really hurting our mother earth. Yeah.
So from Samburu, where next? Which county?
From Samburu, we are going to Tana River. Yeah, Tana River County. Yeah.
I think our young people need to be empowered, especially to move so that then they're not tools of violence, they're not tools of demonstrations, they're tools of peace. So once a young person's mind is settled and they're not idle and they have something to do, then they're able to create an income for themselves and they're able to grow themselves.
The story of Samburu is being rewritten as more residents continue to be aware of the impact of climate change. They